Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Ryan, the Invisible 11th Man, and today I am in a little bit of a different setup. I'm currently at someone else's house. I'll be here for the next week or so, but today I'm here to talk to you about how I'm knocking up the YouTube video I was planning to get up today because, as you see, I am in a different setup and I've been here for the last week and a half. So I haven't been able to edit it because all my normal setup stuff is all the way back in my house, and so I'm currently not able to edit that video. I only have my phone and my rusty old laptop that I can't edit on because it's so slow and it doesn't load quite well. And so what I've been left with is just a bunch of clips, and I haven't been able to put it together whatsoever. So I apologize. This is I know it's annoying. I did say I'll put it up this week, last week, but um, as you know, well, as you don't know, but I know is I can't do it right now. So what I'm going to talk to you about is how injuries, well, basically have dragged down my career. This is a little bit more about myself and how I've been coping with all this, and how I think you guys can cope with different like setbacks in your life. So I guess we can start from the beginning with my injuries, my injury kind of string. So it was my first year of playing soccer back when it was 20. What do you think here? 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. It's my first year. It was my second year in high school, so I think it was around 2015 or something. Um, First year playing, and I was doing well. I was doing okay. My team wasn't winning all the time, but I thought we were doing all right. And then my first injury ever happened. It was my first ever injury that I actually ever suffered. Because before then I was always just sick, like very sick, or just kind of had like a sprain here and there, but or some like scrapes here and there where I fall over on the concrete or whatever. But I've never had a serious injury, and so sorry, I'm a little bit sick. And so um, this came as like this is out of nowhere. Basically, I was playing and then I apparently had rolled my ankle a little bit too far, and so it was an ankle sprain. Now it's out for 2 weeks. And when I got that diagnosis saying, "Oh yeah, you've got like a bad ankle sprain," I was out for 2 weeks. They're saying it wasn't so severe that I couldn't walk on it, whatever. I could walk on it, but just not too much pressure on it. And so, um, when I got that diagnosis from the doctor, my GP, and my physiotherapist, um, I was honestly quite stunned. Picking up an injury, it was like I think near the end of the season, anyways, and so I was just like, can I play through it? And he's like, you have to rest at least 1 week to be able to be somewhat playable in the second. And I said, okay, sure. So I went through a little bit of rehab. I was doing a little bit of light work, like light footwork and whatever. I wasn't trying too hard. I didn't show up to the training sessions for that week because I was just doing rehab and trying to get my body back in shape and getting my ankle to a condition where it's playable. Excuse me. So after that little bit of rehab, I came back the next week and I was still a little bit iffy on it. And I said, okay, how about I play just here and there? Because we weren't winning anything that season, anyways. Um, and so my coach said, yeah, sure. But if I need you on, I'm gonna pull you on. I said, okay, sure. Uh, but then one of our other players got injured, and so I got put on. And then um, the most unfortunate thing happened is I re-aggravated my ankle, and my ankle got re-sprained, and it was the most devastating one because it's my left ankle, my most pivotal one. I'm not left-footed. I'm right-footed, but at the same time, left foot is your plant foot, and so you need to be able to have a good support on your left foot to be able to use your right leg at all. And since I had re-aggravated my left ankle again, I had to be pulled off again, and the doctor said this time, hey, no, you re-aggravated your bad ankle sprain. You've done probably worse muscle damage to it. Not that was like serious muscle damage, but it was muscle damage that hurts every time I step and every time I try to put pressure on it. So I was strapped up in an ankle strap for about 3 weeks, and that was like the most serious thing I've ever had. That I thought at the time that was like the most serious thing I ever had. I had like a bad like knee thing that I had, but it was just like growth pains or whatever, and I was in crutches for a week because I couldn't put pressure on it. But at the same time, it was just a muscle thing, like a growth thing, and so it wasn't serious. So after that injury, I said, okay, I'm gonna try and get my body in shape to prevent more injuries. And so every game I go to, I wear ankle straps, and then I also just get myself ready and get myself in shape to not do another, not roll my ankle or something, and like prevent those silly mistakes. Um, and so the second season comes around, and then I start playing, and then my knee injury, a knee injury comes around. So like my left knee starts hurting really badly, and like every time I put pressure on it, it just kind of hurts underneath the kneecap. And when I go check it, it says, and my doctor and my GP says it's an inflamed muscle on the kneecap. And I'm like, well, crap. This is great. Now I can't run for like another 3 weeks. And so I was out for 2 weeks. Came back the third for a little bit, but then I was fully fit by the fourth. Now, for people who've gone through injuries or gone through kind of like any setback whatsoever, there's a long process to get yourself back there, or get yourself to a better state. And for me, it was quite tough because I never had really experienced injuries and kind of too many setbacks in my life. Yeah, I've had setbacks, but it wasn't as serious as this because it could completely stop my playing career, and it was just so soon. And so having to deal with setbacks is a very important thing in life, because once you when you have a setback, you need to find a way to bounce back, not walk around it. Because being set back is a way of telling you, hey, you made a mistake. You should probably go somewhere else. But at the same time, you need to learn from that mistake, or learn from the setback, and then improve yourself to maybe not put yourself in a position where you can be set back again. And so this is definitely another mental thing, more than a physical thing as well. And I mean, yeah, physical injuries are horrible, like physical scars are horrible as well. But at the same time, mental scars and like just mental trauma is very bad for you as well. And so, learning or finding a way to bounce back from setbacks is a very important thing in life. And I have been, I guess, been through a lot in these couple of years. I've been through so many injuries, and the list is longer than my arm, I think. Uh, and I've just had many issues in my life, not just with friends, with family, and then just other people in general. And so it's been quite weird having all these setbacks come so soon and so fast during high school as well. And I never I never believed that high school would be so indifferent to what I imagined. Because what I imagined was like a peaceful, calm life where I could meet new people, get a couple of friends, play some soccer, have some fun, and just enjoy high school life and get passing marks or fly with like or just fly through with like whatever with great marks or whatever. But it didn't turn out that way, and so not only injuries have hampered me, but like mental stress has hampered me as well. But mainly injuries because I've been injured so much that I've actually had to miss a lot of days at school. Uh, Knee injuries, ankle injuries, hip injuries as well. Um, my hip was out of line for a little bit, so my right hip was slightly higher than my left, and that caused an imbalance in my stepping, and so I'll wobble a little bit every time I step. And every time I use my right leg in like a kicking motion, like a running motion, my hip would start hurting pretty badly, and so I was pretty much stuck at home for 3 days because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk. I couldn't put pressure on it whatsoever, and I was stuck moving around, moving myself around in my house in a chair, like a wheelie chair around my house because I couldn't walk. I was in crutches as well, and so I've been in crutches like twice in my life, and both of them have been pretty serious injuries. And so, with my hip injury, I missed 8 weeks uh, of the season, which is pretty much half the season because we play 16 games. and then 17, 18 afterwards because it's like semi-finals, preliminary finals, and grand finals. So we got like 19 weeks in total, and so I missed 8 weeks of the season, and I learned during that time that I could be more than just a player. So I asked my coach, "Can I help him coach sessions?" And this was my way of bouncing back from injury. This was my way of overcoming my setback. And he said, "Yeah, sure." And so I became an assistant coach for a little bit, even though my teammates hated it. They yelled at me for it. But at the same time, I was helping the team like get further intel about their opponent and be able to be ready for them during the training sessions. Even though we didn't win some of those games, we were just better prepared and we learned a better system. And so I found that quite interesting to me because I could be more than just a player. I could be on the sidelines and help as well. But after I come back from my injury, um, things were different. I couldn't run as fast. I was way out of shape. My stamina dropped all the way down, and I was just performing really poor because during my rehab, everything just hurt half the time, and I couldn't push myself that far. I couldn't push myself to get myself back in shape. So that was probably the most devastating injury I've ever had. Is my hip injury. Um, I've never broken a bone. I fractured a bone. That's in my hand. It's my pinky here. But injuries have been hampering me this entire time. Throughout my 4 seasons of playing so far, I've had at least 2 injuries each season, and still counting. I think, because in the first season I ever played, I had an ankle injury and then a knee issue, like a bugging knee issue. In the second season, I had my knee issue and then my hip injury. And in the third season, I had ankles and then my knee. And then the later season, I've had two ankle injuries. No, one ankle injury and a knee. And so it's always been lower body problems as well. I've never had kind of like an upper body problem. Uh, because I mean, soccer doesn't really require upper body too much, but it does. You do require it when you're like challenging someone for the ball or whatever. But at the same time, I've always had problems with my ankles and my knee, and every time I re-injure them or injure them over and over again, it becomes more fragile. It becomes more susceptible to injuries, and so there were points where I thought of stopping, where I just stopped playing in general because I'm putting my body in so much danger. But at the same time, I just couldn't stop playing it because it was just so much fun hanging out with people that I normally wouldn't meet or normally like see on a week-to-week basis, on a daily basis. So I thought I'd just enjoy myself while I have these times, and if I don't make it professional, hey, at least I tried. Uh, but I wasn't playing from a young age. I only started playing when I was around 14, 13, and I could have been, maybe I could have been better if I started playing at a younger age, but maybe I could have been hampered by more injuries when I was younger age. So we don't know, and I wouldn't know either. So sorry. Whatever the case is, I think I can claim that I'm glad to be playing, even though I've been hampered by so many injuries. Uh, Setbacks are something that you learn from. It's never something you go straight back down. Like you get all depressed and all dumped down by. Yes, you can be sad for a little bit, but after that setback, you need to find a way to bounce back. It's resilience. You need to be resilient to these. And being able to bounce back is probably one of the best skills to have in life because in future life, and probably my future life, when I get a job and then I get maybe fired from it or something, that's a setback that I have to overcome because I've been fired from a job, and so I need to find a new job or something, or I need to find a new career path because that wasn't apparently the career path for me, and so bouncing back from setbacks is something everyone needs to learn, and I'm pretty sure that is widely known nowadays. But when I first started off, I didn't know how to do it because I never really had anyone to kind of copy or follow. I was pretty much by myself because my sisters were too young. Uh, I was quite young at that age as well, and so I didn't really have anyone to ask help for. My dad had moved out, and my mom didn't really talk to me, and so I never really had a true, uh, I guess, person to look up to, except for professional players, like professional sport athletes. But I could never talk to them because they're all around the world, and I'm stuck here where I am. And so, I mean, setbacks is uh, yeah, a devastating thing. Everyone goes through them. I'm pretty sure people have like lost friends throughout their schooling life or just in life in general, or they've lost unfortunately passing family members, or they've been through like injuries or like mental problems or something. But most of these people nowadays that are still out there have faced setbacks and bounced back from them. And instead of avoiding the problem, I suggest everyone should face the problem head on. Because if you're trying to avoid the problem, I think everything just gets worse. Everything gets worse, and then it builds up, and over a long period of time, it just hurts more and more by like every day. And I would know that feeling. I think that I'll tell that in another video. I'll tell that story in another video. But I know this from personal experience. If you hold on to something for too long and just don't talk about it, uh, it just hurts a lot more than you actually expect, and a lot more than you actually think, because it's so serious to you, it's so dear to you, and you need to be able to talk to someone about it. You need to be able to open up about it and ask someone for help, especially when it gets a little serious and you're when it gets too serious and it's actually affecting your daily life. And so setbacks are always a terrible thing to go through, but most of mine have been injuries, and so this is more or less of me talking about my injuries and how I've tried to overcome them through rehab, through training, through talking to other people, talking to specialists that have been able to, I guess, get me through it. And so, yeah, it's more or less just me trying to find a way to face these problems head on, face these setbacks head on, because I wanted to at least get back onto the field and play with my mates. And so that's kind of the gist of the video now. So thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful to you. If not, let me know down in the comments below why it was, or why it wasn't, sorry. And leave me some video suggestions. I'll try my best to put up the 2020 push-up challenge video next week if I can. I'm not going to make any promises. I'll let you guys know if I can. If I can't, I'll put up another video where I'm just talking to you guys. But at the same time, thank you for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.